Peace, peace, peace. I am Philip Roundtree, and you are tuned into Rhetorically Speaking. Today is March 23rd, 2020, or it feel like day 21, 27, or 430 of COVID-19 shelter in place. Salute to those who are watching on YouTube Live. Shout out to those who are watching on Facebook Live. Don't forget to go over to YouTube and subscribe at Quadify LLC. That's Quadefy LLC. Shame the devil. Press the subscribe button. You'll be better off for it. So listen, today we're going to start off like we usually start off. I can't wait till the day where I do not have to talk about this COVID-19 anymore. Like it's annoying, it's bad for content. Even though y'all president is amazing for content, he always dropping gems, right? He always dropping gems, whether it's the Chinese virus. I mean, it started in China. Or like it is today where he was like, listen, I'm cool with the Asian Americans. Where he tried to I'm not gonna even say he backtracked, right? I'm not gonna even say he backtracked about Asian Americans, but he did say they are amazing people, and spreading the spreading of the virus is not their fault in any way, shape, or form. They're working closely with us to get rid of it. We will prevail together. Salute to Lauren, who was tuned in on IG Live. Shout out to Dr. underscore T Smith, who was tuned in on IG Live. They the bougie folks. They the ones who refuse to go to Facebook Live. They definitely not gonna go to YouTube Live and hit the subscribe button. That's those type folk. Like, no, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. But no, this coronavirus, man, it's gotten realer and realer. So today in Pennsylvania, we were ordered to uh exhibit, not even exhibit. I'm trying to find the wording. They told us sheltering in place is in effect. And so now we have to stay in the crib. However, we still could go out to the grocery store. We still could go for runs. We could still walk the dog. We could still pick up medicine. We could visit a doctor and get supplies to work from home. So shelter in place is pretty much, don't be out there bullshit. That's that's really what they want to say. Yo, don't be out there BSing. I don't know if my mama tuned in yet, so I can't say what I want to say. So, I mean, with this shelter in place today, I've been in the house all day. Has it been fun? No. I thought my laptop broke, so I'm sitting here. I literally spent about 10 hours messing around with my laptop until I finally got it to work. So I feel kind of proud of myself. But it helped me in dealing with the idea of having to be in the house because I was focused. So even if you got to find you some busy work to stay sane, find it. Find that busy work because it's going to help you we attempt, and as this thing goes longer and longer. They just closed Pennsylvania schools for another 2 weeks. So after this week, I wish they'd just take the initiative and say, yo, this over. Yo, we not doing this no more. I mean, again, who are we kidding? Who are we kidding by continuing to say to push it off further another 2 weeks? And so we talk about the lack of leadership that exists because in Pennsylvania, they're saying, peace, Leslie. Thank you for getting the clue. No, shout out to Leslie. She's always on and is definitely appreciated. But again, the leadership, like there's no cohesiveness. There's no collaboration that's taking place when it comes to this here coronavirus. So you got each state doing their own thing. Apparently, this boy Governor Cuomo in New York, is doing an amazing job. He just saying the same thing that other governors are saying, but I think with the decisiveness that he's talking about, even though it's still unknown and uncertainty surrounding it, he's still showing that he's a leader. And I think that's what part of being a leader in hectic times is. It is being cool, calm, and collected, not to pretend and act like you're not affected by it, but it's to lean into the vulnerability of not only self, but of those with whom is in your a part of your constituency. And it feels like Pennsylvania, Governor Wolf is just always a little step behind. Just a little step behind. And again, we're dealing with the unknown. But at some point, somebody gonna say, "Yo, can we shut the studio down till July? Can we shut the studio down till August?" Because fact of the matter is, and the Surgeon General said it. Yo, this is gonna get worse. This is going to get worse. And I think our best hopes is that I feel like we're all going to get it. But I think best case scenario is that we not the one that dies. And I know that sounds fludged up, but that's what it is. I think that's what we all hoping for. Yo, if I get it, don't let me die. But because we're going to get it. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And so, you can appreciate all the protective measures that are being put in place, like social distancing, like shelter in place, like the washing of the hands. But again, is it all for naught? Is it all for naught? Or are we just susceptible to it and we're going to get it? Because again, we have to be around each other in some capacity. It's going to be that person who's sitting in the house and doing doing the right thing for 3-4 weeks straight. And then they make that one trip to the grocery store. And what happens? They catch it. And it's not because of somebody else is being out here being reckless. But it just seems inevitable that the majority of us will catch it. And again, all we can do and all we can hope for is that we don't die. Now, I know many of us are sitting waiting like, yo, where my $1,000 at? They loaning me $1,000. Where is this loan so then I could pay it back next year in 2021's taxes? And so last night with the corona relief package, it failed in the Senate. The proposal included roughly $500 billion in funds for loans and loan guarantees to be doled out to the distressed people, distressed companies, states, localities, and yes, including you and your $1,000. I like what Bernie Sanders says, like, yo, $2,000 a month minimum until this is over. But that seems a little bit, that sounds a little bit too much like right, if we're honest about it. I don't necessarily know if the goal of this package, this stimulus package, is to offer relief to the people as opposed to offering relief to the businesses and the major corporations. Not even the Walmarts and the Targets, because they're eating. You go in Walmart at any time of the day and there's people still stocking up on toilet paper. So they out there eating. So I don't sit here and have and be delusional that this is somehow for me and it's going to benefit from my life. I'm going to put it back into the system. And that's really all this is. And so can you be mad at the person who says, yo, when I get this 1,000, I'm going to go buy me the new Yeezys? I mean, that's going back in the system. However, not in a way that they would want it to go back into the system. It's going to touch several hands before it get back to the big corporations. As opposed to me, who would use it to pay the mortgage, and it'll go straight to M&T Bank. And it'll go to get some CEO or some CFO to give them a crazy bonus for how they handled the COVID-19 rough patch. But the $500 billion in funds was, again, it failed in the Senate. Why did it fail? Because Democrats were like, nah, yeah, we're not quite sure what the guidelines are to ensure that this money is going to be first used properly. We have no idea as to who's eligible. So is Walmart eligible? Is Target eligible? And I'm just naming stores, right? I don't even know some of the various companies, that Fortune 500 companies that exist. Wall Street, are they eligible? And so, and it also has no idea as to what the restrictions on stock buybacks for recipients. Because if you haven't seen, a lot of people been in the insider trader bag. We talking about public officials selling $1 million worth of stock after coming out of a meeting that says, yo, the stock market about to get crazy because of COVID-19. And they sell all their stock. And so if you're selling your stock and then you get this bonus, you go back and buy your stuff back, how would that look? And again, this is all off the backs of the American people. So Jeff Bezos not worried about this because he doesn't pay taxes. Yeah, we still continue to buy from Amazon. I ordered me a charger today. I needed it for my laptop, and Walmart was too high. But I get it in 2 days. I don't got to deal with the madness in Walmart. So I guess it's that ethical, that moral trade-off. Where it's like, oh yeah, I know you're a little shady. I know you making your money off the backs of the people. However, especially in times like this where it's shelter in place, I don't necessarily want to leave my house because, again, it's based off of fear. It's based off of fear. And so also, it doesn't require any reporting of which companies took loans until 6 months after the fact. So a company could give let's say 50 mil. They have no idea who got the 50 mil until 6 months later. And so during the meantime, they could have done whatever they wanted with the money. They could have flipped it. Or again, it could be somebody who doesn't necessarily need it. So, but they're encouraged. They're encouraged that at some point somebody's going to say, yeah, we're going to pass this bill. And again, maybe I might just buy me some Yeezys just to buck at the system. But I swear this looks a lot like socialism, which every Republican says is such an awful, awful thing. Every liberal that has a conservative foundation, it's just like, no, we can't do this. But I think what this looks like is socialism and what it could be. And then when we start to get into areas like universal health care and why that's so necessary, it highlights that right now. But because you have a segment of the population, me included, who can't even go and get tested. I can't even go fake that I got a cough. Like, I can't even go and do that. Why? Because I won't be seen. Because I don't have insurance. Or I got to sit and potentially get a bill. That's if I go to an actual hospital. Now, I know what they're trying to do now is to make it more accessible for those of us who don't have insurance. But again, it's a weight game. We might pick you if you go stand in line. Can't guarantee it. We guarantee it if you got insurance. And so it's messed up. It's a messed up system. And I think this is why, again, it shows universal health care is so important. This is why the guy, what's his name? It escapes my mind. I want to say Michael Myers so bad, and it's not Michael Myers. But he had his film. And I talked about this before, where he took people to Cuba, he took people to Canada. Michael Moore. He took people to Cuba, took people to Canada. And after being denied by their insurance company, they were able to go there to get seen. I think this coronavirus is exposing the worst of people. It's exposing the the lack of ability to deal with your emotions. And I recognize that fear, is driven by fear. Fear is a heck of an influencer. It's the equivalent of somebody coming to pick you up and say, yo, we going for a ride. And you have no idea where they're going. Especially if it's a sketchy friend, right? That sketchy friend, you really don't know what they do for a living. But they like, yo, take this ride with me. And you like, all right. And so you in that car for the ride. That's what Corona is. We have no idea. And it's bringing out the worst of us. I'm going to get into later how DNice brought out the best in us, even for that small moment this weekend with his IG Live concert. I read a story today from somebody on social media, and she said that she was shopping this morning, and she had gloves on, and some random man, it's usually the old white guy, started screaming on her. He started screaming on her about she need to wash her hands and the gloves not going to do nothing. Now, whether that's true or not is one thing. Because it could very well be true. But again, that approach, how do you approach somebody like that? Why do you feel comfortable? Because why? The fear, the anxiety is you're succumbing to it. And I think the older the population, the worse it is. Now, I see people around with masks. I saw one girl when I was running yesterday, she had the bedazzled mask. She wasn't running. She was just out there with the bedazzled mask. And I wanted to ask her, man, why do you have that on? Do you know why you have that on? But then I had to take a step back and say, you know what? Is she hurting anybody? No, as long as she's not within 6 feet of me. But that misinformation is the reason why people are afraid. The people why we're out here wearing masks. Because if you didn't know, only people who are sick are supposed to wear the mask. It doesn't stop those who are well. It doesn't stop the coronavirus or the flu or what have you from penetrating the mask. It's for sick people. Now, if you get in a hospital environment, it might be a little bit different. But still, the facts are the facts. And so it's that same fear that leads you to yell at somebody, to walk around angry and frustrated and upset. But what's important is that we learn how to deal with our emotions during this time. We're all afraid. We're all nervous. We all don't know. We all have loved ones that we care about. So now how do I self-regulate my emotions in the midst of this? I might need to inhale, exhale. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. I might need to use guided imagery, which is picturing somewhere that I want to be. It could be on the beach somewhere that you enjoy, somewhere that you've been. Your happy place. That's all it is. Thinking about your happy place when you start to have these emotions that begin to go awry. Talk with people. Go around and talk with people. Engage. You could talk with your neighbor from door to door. Say, hey, what's up? Or IG Live somebody. FaceTime somebody. Call somebody on the phone. Let them know, hey, I was just thinking about you. Or, hey, I'm not feeling at my best. I'm not feeling at my best. I just wanted to rap with you. Again, it might sound corny, but it helps. This might be a perfect time to learn how to meditate, learning how to sit in silence. Silence is your best friend. It is. It allows you to think with a clear mind, without the distractions of social media all up on you, all up in your noggin. But again, that's if you choose to truly allow yourself to lean into your thoughts, feelings, and emotions in a healthy way. Leslie said, for some, the gloves and mask are showing that it exists, and like you said, it's scary. That the truth that it exists, and like you said, is scary. No, facts. But as I said earlier, it's almost inevitable that a large majority of the world's population will have COVID-19 at some point. You just hope you're in a position to fight it. You know, I sat and watched Idris Elba's wife say that she's now she tested positive for COVID-19. And it was like she was saying it like a badge of honor and sickness and health. And again, I always get taken back to Bill Cosby back when we liked him. That episode when he was talking about Theo. Remember Theo was talking about what he was going to do with the money? This is when he was a teenager. And he said, Theo, that is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Why would you put yourself at risk? Now, it's not to sit there and say that she doesn't have it or she didn't get it when he got it. But to say, no, I'm not leaving you, babe. I'm not wearing this together till death do us part. Martin said it best too. Cole, sit your $5 down before I make change. Like, what are you proving? Why do we have to prove our love? Is proving your love getting sick with your partner? To show that you're in lockstep with them? That's not healthy. Why not let you be well as they heal? So then you both can be well together. But again, it's this celebrity bubble that exists. Because like Magic Johnson, you might have a better chance of living when you got money. So it might be easier for her to say that. But let my partner get sick. Child, please, I am out the door. Babe, I'll be back. Where you going? I'm gonna go to Brandon crib. I'm gonna see what he doing. See what he up to. 2 weeks later, you still at Brandon crib? Yeah, I'm here. You know, we just playing the game, chilling. Why? I care. But I'm not trying to be out in these streets sick either, because again, it's no guarantee that I'm going to recover from it. And speaking of celebrities, I want to say the positive for last, because I do have some positive talk. Cause shout out to DNice and Anthony Hamilton, and I think Erykah Badu tried to charge people to watch her joint, so I'm not sure about her. But why Tyler Perry trying to get us to sing "We Shall Overcome" or whatever he got trying to get us to sing? He up in his castle talking about, let's sing, y'all. Tyler, no. No. I'm seeing on Facebook people getting eviction notices still. Even though the government said, nah, we not doing that right now. People like, no, yo, make your priority paying April's rent, or we will follow the fair housing law. I just read that. So no, Tyler, I will not be singing "When the Saints Go Marching In" or "We Shall Overcome." No, my brother. Maybe when you get rid of them wigs, Tyler. You get rid of them wigs, I'm all in, baby. But again, it's that disconnect that exists. And I guess I understand it just a little bit more. When you hear Malcolm, when you hear the old Malcolm, and you hear the NOI, Nation of Islam, saying, "Why are we singing 'We Shall Overcome' while y'all beating our heads in?" No, we need to be responding with something. Do I think it's a place? Because we know music is a beautiful thing. But again, it's something nasty when it comes from the wealthy. Or maybe it's just how I'm wired. Maybe I'm just so cynical to where I have a certain perspective of all wealthy people. That you are disconnected. Where's billionaire Jay-Z? I'll put an APB out on him. You was all out in the forefront for the NFL, brother. But where are you now? Where's your statement? You and Beyonce in your pool, your supersized pool. I saw it looked nice. But again, where are you? See, celebrities know when to come around. It's just no different than politicians. They know when to come around. And they want to act like we all in this together. Yeah, we all in this together. It's the equivalent of of how we get in there though. You got some people that got a helicopter. Some people got Range Rovers. And some people got an 89 Chevy Chevette. It's differences. We all in it together trying to get to the same location. But for some of us, it's just different. I commend Will Smith for going on Red Table Talk and saying, apologizing for misinformation for I Am Legend. Even though he's a multimillionaire, Will Smith still has a sense of authenticity that comes with him. From what I can see, because again, I don't know these people up close and personal. But Will not saying, yo, sing. It's going to be okay. I don't know. Again, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's how I'm feeling when I sit and watch these celebrities who I've invested money into for the longest time. Maybe it's me being fed up with COVID restrictions. But I really think part of it is I know that we're playing two different games. We playing two different games out here. Yes, we're all susceptible. But even if you don't have insurance, Tom Hanks, Rita Hanks, you still could pay for it if necessary. I got to make a business decision. So many people like me got to make a business decision when we step out in these streets. You think it's lost upon me that when I go running, when I ran my 6 miles yesterday, that I don't recognize that I'm taking my life in my own hands? Fully aware of it. But I don't have the property, the land to go run around. Which allows me to then come on and say, hey, let's sing a song together, everybody. I don't begrudge them. Because I wonder who's around them telling them, like, listen, maybe this ain't it. Or maybe it's because of so many of us are self-aware that we recognize that this ain't it. Or we're not aware that this ain't it. So we continue to indulge. I was in therapy one time, and I was talking to my therapist, and I told her I was frustrated. I was frustrated with people, all right? Because it's like, so many people can't see past the looking glass. So many people can't see past the looking glass. And what I was talking about was just the advocacy work that I'm out here doing, that so many of the brothers that I know and sisters that I know are out here doing. But yet we see the super famous people, to the like the Rob Hill seniors, no shade, giving cookie cutter advice. And we giving really tangible methods to help you improve your mental health and your wellness. But we not one to getting the views. We not ones getting the likes. We not the ones being booked. And so it was less about jealousy, but the fact of the matter is, people just don't know what they need to know and why it's so important. And what she said to me was, Phil, everybody can't handle all that you offer. You could be giving out amazing information, but everybody can't digest that in one sitting. It might take time. And so what the ET hip hop preachers and with the Gary V's and shout out to Les, I love Les Brown. But what they're offering, they might be offering in a way that it could be digested. No, it might not be in the same intellectual context that you offer it. Right? And so I had to sit back. I had to say, you know what, you're right. But how will we know if they never see it and they never offered it to them? And so bringing it back, this COVID is real. We're definitely in dire situations, and in dire times rather. And we need both digestible information and we need that hard-hitting information. So again, it's not about, I see everybody still sharing stuff. I'm not in that game. I know a lot of people aren't in that game. I think a lot of people are starting to settle in. They're starting to settle in that this is going to be a little long run, which is better for your mental health if you could wrap your mind around it. So take your eyes off that 2 weeks I might be able to go outside. But saying to yourself, listen, I have the capacity to deal with whatever is thrown my way. And so if that means it's another 2 weeks, then it's another 2 weeks. And if it's 6 months, it's 6 months. But I'm prepared for it psychologically and physically. Emotionally, I'm present, I'm here, and I'm ready. But that takes work. That takes work. You first have to be able to be comfortable in sitting with yourself. In these technological times, so many of us can't go a minute without being on our phones. Think about how you feel when your phone drops. That panic. It's less about the phone, but more about you feeling disconnected from the world. At which point, you feel disconnected from self. And so again, first and foremost, you have to be comfortable in being with self. That's the only way you're going to be able to make it through this. Don't try to ignore the thoughts that come in. People say fear isn't healthy. Fear is real. Fear exists. I know whatever your specific doctrine is, it says don't fear, have trust in the Lord. That's cool. That's cool. But we still human beings, right? Fear still pops up. And so you have to acknowledge it. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? You can't turn it off. You can't turn that voice off. You can't just turn fear off. When I was running yesterday, now I just ran 6 miles last week, and I had to run another 6 yesterday. I ran with my homie Keenan. Shout out to Keenan. I ran about a half a, not even a half a mile. I took maybe about 10, 15 steps of the 6 miles. And I said, oh no, I ain't got this. I ain't got this today. I didn't have it for mile 2. And I was like, Phil, get ready to turn around, babe. It's all right. It's no shame in quitting and stopping. But it was more so fear. It was fear about how my body was going to feel as the miles increase. It was fear about how I was going to be once I got home the next day, how sore my body was going to be. I didn't want to feel that. And so he called me. He was like, yo, where you at? Because at this point, he was gone. And he a platter. So there's no way he should have been that much further ahead of me. He's like, yo, you stop? I was like, nah. And I looked down, I started looking at my feet, and I just started plodding away. Mile 3. Then I had to turn around, run back 3. And I got to mile 4. I stopped. And I was like, all right, baby, you ran a great race. It's like, who am I running for? Am I trying to win? Am I trying to beat my time from last week? The competitiveness in me says, yeah, that's what I was doing. But the reality is, I never experienced a day like that. Why? Because I never experienced that moment before. And I had to really center myself. I was listening while I was running, I was listening to English Gardner. And she's a Olympic track star. And they were just talking about just why that moment is the only thing that matters. And so even though I knew that, and I know that moment still escaped me. But I had to fight. I had to first acknowledge that the fear is there. And then I had to say, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? Your time is 18 minutes instead of 14, or instead of 12, or instead of 9. And I got to mile 5. And I said, all right, baby, you had a great run. It's enough. But then that's when that resolve kicks in. You start thinking about all the things that you've been resilient from throughout your life. We take for granted the moment that we're in right now. It's the perfect moment. This is the most beautiful moment of our lives. Yeah, when my daughter was born, it was a beautiful moment, indeed. But the fact that I've never had this moment before makes it just as special. Just as special. Because we so ready looking forward to the next. So while I was running, I was looking for the next. Instead of embracing mile 4 and 4.01 and 4.02, I was looking ahead to mile 6 already and getting back in my car, eating them fruit snacks I had in the passenger seat. But it wasn't until I stopped and I just looked down. And I said, all right, come on, we're going to take it one step at a time. One moment at a time. And so that's what we need to do with this COVID-19. We need to take it one moment at a time. One moment at a time. Why rush? Why rush? Because what's the destination? Where are we trying to get to? If we're supposed to be on the opposite end of COVID-19, then that's where we're going to be. But that comes with a certain acceptance and a certain acknowledgement that we have to have. And so, yeah, I'm saying that now. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, I might feel completely different. But then that's what I have to remind myself, that I was resilient and I got through today and I got through yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, that I can deal with this moment right here because that's the only thing I can control. That's the only thing I can control. And so speaking of control, apparently DJ DNice had IG Live completely controlled this weekend. Now I tuned in to Ann Hamilton because I missed DNice on Saturday. I tuned in to Ann Hamilton. He sung a song or two. I was like, all right, I'm out. But I was just watching. I was watching people give it up. For that moment in time, again, for those hours that he was on, people were present. People were just present. We weren't thinking about coronas. We was thinking about the dance steps. We was diddy bopping, Harlem shaking. You know what I mean? We was doing all that. Well, y'all was doing all that because I missed it. I tried to catch the replay during my run, but he ain't have it up yet. And so, why is that so important? I mean, salute to DNice, Questlove, Skills from VA. Skills always do the wrap ups at the end of the year. So many people had live things going on. And it was just that, you know what? Let's make the best of our situation and what we have. I have a skill. I have a talent. I owe it to the people to offer it to them. See, before you start making money on your talent, the real ones are giving it out to the world for free. They just want people to hear them. So I see one person on my IG Live. I see people coming and going on Facebook Live and YouTube. There's no check attached to this. This is just the desire that I have to communicate to the people. Because that's what the essence is. The essence is the people. We're the ones who build DJ DNice up and Queen Joe Music up. Salute to you. It's the people. And again, that's why I'm so critical of Lord J, because he made a billy off the people. But we're going to get back to DNice and give him his flowers. And all those other people, give them their flowers. Because what they did was amazing. I know somebody done got that downloaded. They done put it on a playlist. And then we're going to rock out to it. But find those moments in your own life. It shouldn't have to take DJ DNice to hop on IG Live for you to turn up in your life, in your world, to take your mind away from it. You could throw in your own Spotify playlist. Wait, they not paying me for this. You could throw in your own insert streaming app here list. You could do it yourself. Deem yourself worthy enough to have an effort moment for an hour or two and just jig. My phone just rang. That was the Call of Duty call. I used to feel guilty about getting on Call of Duty these last couple of days because Rise and Grind Twitter told me I always got to be doing something. I always got to be pushing the boundaries. I got to be putting out content. No, I need to be in free-for-all with the homies, laughing and joking, enjoying this. And so that's what I'm about to do. So listen, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I do. Tune in tomorrow where we're going to have Chris Gilbert. He is a certified strength and conditioning coach. He will be talking to us about our fitness and our nutrition and what we can do in these times to really make sure that we're not going ham with our eating and to show us ways and give us tips on how we can work out. As always, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Quadify LLC, Quadefy LLC. Yeah, I think that's it. I am Phillip Roundtree. Peace.